Welcome to Had6 channel. In this video, we will look into despondency. 14 nouns with similar meanings will be reviewed in example sentences. Let's get started. Number 1. Grief. Which means intense sorrow, especially caused by someone's death. Grief. For example, she was overcome with grief. Number 2. Desolation. Which means great unhappiness or loneliness. Desolation. For example, she was racked by a feeling of utter desolation. Number 3. Misery. Which means a state or feeling of great physical or mental distress or discomfort. Misery. For example, I went through periods of intense misery. Number 4. Discouragement. Which means a loss of confidence or enthusiasm. Discouragement. For example, a discouragement to crime. Number 5. Pessimism. Which means a tendency to see the worst aspect of things or believe that the worst will happen. Pessimism. For example, the dispute cast an air of deep pessimism over the future of the peace talks. Number 6. Despair. Which means the complete loss or absence of hope. Despair. For example, many parents feel pain and despair about their teenage children. Number 7. Heartache. Which means emotional anguish or grief, typically caused by the loss or absence of someone loved. Heartache. For example, the familiar pang of heartache. Number 8. Disappointment. Which means sadness or displeasure caused by the non-fulfillment of one's hopes or expectations. Disappointment. For example, to her disappointment, there was no chance to talk privately with Luke. Number 9. Sorrow. Which means a feeling of deep distress caused by loss, disappointment, or other misfortune suffered by oneself or others. Sorrow. For example, a bereaved person needs time to work through their sorrow. Number 10. Dejection. Which means a sad and depressed state. Dejection. For example, he was slumped in deep dejection. Number 11. Melancholy. Which means a feeling of pensive sadness, typically with no obvious cause. Melancholy. For example, An air of melancholy surrounded him. Number 12. Sadness. Which means the condition or quality of being sad. Sadness. For example, a source of great sadness. Number 13. Depression. Which means feelings of severe despondency and dejection. Depression. For example, she ate to ease her depression. What do you think of these synonyms? Please share your thoughts in the comment section below. Moreover, you can follow the channel by hitting the subscription button.